Hey everybody, welcome to another video. This will be the third video in the series that I'm making for how to turn a little golden book into a junk journal. So in the last video we put these signatures together and I wasn't really happy with the colour of the doilies and the colour of the scrapbook paper that I used in there. I just thought it was too bright and it just looked a little wrong for me. So what I did is I went and tea stained doily. I'll just move this out of the way so you can see. And if I just do I'll be able to do a side by side of the doily before to after. So you know, I just think these little details are important. It just sort of helps everything come together. So the other thing that I did was with my leftover tea from tea staining my doilies, and I did a whole heap of tea stain paper, was I just got a paintbrush and I just laid this like flat on the white side. And I just got my paintbrush and I painted it with the tea. And then I got my heat tool and I just sort of went over it until you couldn't really see the wetness on the paper, but it was still damp. So then I just put it in the oven to completely dry. You could just let it sit somewhere overnight to dry, but I'm impatient. So this is the after, and this is what it looked like before. So you can really see it makes a big difference, I think. And now it goes well with all my other tea stained pages and whatnot in these signatures. So the other thing that I did, if I can find it really quickly, yes, in the middle signature I added a paper bag. I was looking for them when I was in the last video, but I couldn't find them, so I've just put one in just as an extra pocket, and then I have added this little doily in the middle here, and I think I moved this piece of paper. So yeah, that's where we're at. So today, well, in this video, we're going to be sewing in the signatures, but also before we do that, I want to put a little spot to have a dangly, you know, so you can add things like, you know, your dangles and stuff like that. I made this cute little tassel last night, just sitting in front of the TV. Wasn't very difficult, and if you guys would like a video on how I made that, just let me know, comment below. So I'm going to be using this eyelet, and I just need to find my eyelet hole punch and squisher basically, but we'll probably be putting it about there. So you need to do this before you add your signatures. You could do it after, but the way I'm putting my signatures in, I like this bit to be hidden, so do it all before you put the actual spine piece in. And this little mark here, I'm going to try and figure out, because I realized when I was putting this together the other day that I didn't actually do a closure. Now I have gotten the, whatever you want to call it, twine, and I have braided it. You can see there, and it's quite long, so I'm going to have a little experiment, because this is experimental golden book, my very first one. So I'm going to see if I can basically tack it here, affix it on the inside so it will be hidden, but the tie will then be attached to the book. So I'm going to go and find my hole punch thing and I will be back. I have found my chompy thing. I'm not 100% sure what it's called off the top of my head, but it is a We Are Memory Keepers brand. I'll find out what it is and I will put it down in the description below, along with any other tools, you know, with a particular brand or whatever. So I definitely want to make sure that I get this in the center, and I definitely want to make sure that I have it like not too low. Like I don't want it here, but I don't want the eyelet sitting right here on the edge. So got my Tim Holtz ruler, and I'm just going to flick this upside down, find the center, and I'm going to do it this way because this is 1/2 inch, but I think I might go, so this will be the center of the hole, so about here. So yeah, I think we might go 3/4 inch. That looks good to me. So I'll just line my ruler back up, and I'm going to use my whiteboard marker, if I can find it again, and I'm just going to put the dot there, and now I'm going to unlock this, and I'm going to use not the small hole but the big hole, which I need to clean out, sorry. Remnants from another project. And what we're going to do is I'm going to line the dot up in the middle here. So move that back, and see, it might be a bit difficult to see, but you can just see the dot is in the middle there, and when I'm happy with the line up, I'm going to punch my hole. Now it's a bit tough, so make sure you get it right the first time because you can't change it once you've done it again. So I'm just going to clean that hole out again. Now, as you can see, there's now a hole. You can see my finger, haha, and the mat. Now we're going to stick the eyelet in there, and then we're going to use this part of the tool to basically squish it. So this part I will put through on this side, and then this part will squash the eyelet underneath. So line it up, sorry, and we're just going to squish it. Don't go too hard because you'll actually push the eyelet into the board. But there, you can see it's nice and squished in there. And now I'll be able to put my little thing so I can have a dangle on that side. Okay, I have found what I fondly refer to as my pokey tool. This is made by Sizzix. I have had it for years, and it's just has a nice sharp point. And all we'll do anything that's like sort of sharp and pokey, because we'll also need it so we can do our signatures. So let's have a go at attaching the twine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to poke this down through my book. Remember, it was quite tough, and I'm just going to wiggle it. I don't want the hole too big, because I just want something to be able to go through so you can grab the twine. So I'm just going to use this skewer to make the hole a little bit bigger. Okay. Now I suppose what I might do is I might try and recycle the staple from the book binding that we took out right at the start. So using my muscles in my fingers, I'm just going to sort of wiggle this down so it's a U shape, and there's a bit of glue on it because I used it to clear out my glue bottle. A bit of wire would do. It doesn't have to be very big, but what we'll do alright, so will it fit? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to pull it back out, get my tie, and I'm just going to figure out where that should be. So I'll be back in a second. I just need to muck around and figure out where this would work best, because this is so long that it will wrap around twice. So okay, with assistance of a bottle of embossing powder, I have sort of raised up to the spine, and we've got a pretty good idea. I'll just pop that back in there, of where this strand needs to be, so these two are even. So what I'm going to do, take it back out, and I'm going to push that down into the spine, and might need to use the pliers to pull it up. There we go. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it down a little bit more so we don't have that bump. So we're just going to work on that. Okay, see, now it's sort of flush to the book, which is what I want, and this isn't going anywhere now. So now I'm just going to bend these back into place like so, and because I'm a little OCD, I'm going to get a bit of this and I'm going to stick it over the top as well, so that way I know it's not going to move. So I will do that and I'll be back. Really, all you need is a little paper clip and a big paper clip. Now what you do, oh, and a bit of twine. So what you do is you get your twine and you poke it from the inside to the outside. Now you can use elastic for this. I have used elastic. I can't find my elastic. So you poke it out to the outside, and then you get your big paper clip and basically clip your paper clip on to your hole. So this is going to stop it, if we pull, stop it from going back in. Alright, so then what we do is we're going to, I wonder if it will work this way. Yeah, it will work that way. We're going to get our other paper clip and do that. Now we want to make sure we have enough so we can put our O-rings and all that stuff, clip it onto there when we're ready to do that. So don't pull it too taut. And then, so I might just move the paper clip down a little bit more. Maybe a bit of washi or something may come in handy here, just as an extra hand. Just so you can get this part right particularly. So let's just leave that there. And then all we're going to do is going to trim those ends like so. Get our scrap. What I'm going to do is just trim it to fit, and this just reduces bulk in the spine. So going to glue. I'm just going to glue on here, getting glue all over my fingers, of course, putting glue here and here, and just going to glue it down, and then I'm going to let it completely dry before we move on to the next step. So I'll be back. Okay guys, so that's the end of this video. So in the next video I will be putting the signatures in, and I'm really sorry, but the content has been a lot more than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.